have been raised with Christ. And I'm telling you, it is my desire, it's my declaration, it's my decree that we have this image indelibly imprinted in our minds so that every time we get tested and every time problems come up and every time things come up, we are reminded we've been raised with him. And so since I've been raised with him, I know God has already worked it out. So I'm going to go and shout right now because it's already been worked out. I don't know how it's going to be worked out. I'm going to shout because it's been worked out. I'm going to shout because it's been worked out. Because I've already been raised. Not going to be raised. I've been raised. And now seated with him in the heavenly place. So if we go back in and take a look at our second footnote here, our second spiritual point principle, this idea of expectation. Expectation. Would you agree with me at some point in life we've all had expectations that were too low? Yes. Because it didn't work this way, every time we failed, we lowered our expectation. So we got the expectation so low that we know we can always meet it. Instead of always having high expectation. High expectation. High expectation. One day on Tinder trying to find somebody. Next day on Match.com trying to find somebody. Next man on Black people meet. Then gonna go to Asian people meet. Then Chinese people. At some point, we lowered our bar so low. And just saying, I just want to have somebody. Instead of saying, oh no, I'm going to hold my standard high. Because God's getting somebody ready for me. And I'm getting ready for somebody. And right now, I'm not going to accept a piece of junk that I've been raised since I've been raised. I can't go down here and get somebody unraised. I've been raised. Don't ever lower your expectation. So this is the expectation. So we this idea of expectation. Read this with me. It is a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Now, this will be clear now. It has already been done. I'm now positioning myself to receive it. Too many people keep saying, if I do this, then God will do that. No, that's wrong. If I do this, that's Old Testament law. God has already done it. So now I got to be in position to receive what he done. He's already done it. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. It's already there. So now I got to have high expectations to now get positioned to receive what God has already done. I'm not if I do this, he's going to do this. He already did. And since he did, I can go and accept it. Amen. So that expectation, this idea of expectation, is strong belief. I'm going to see this in the future. So here's the point. Believe it's time to do what? Come on now. Expect. Come on now. Expect. So I'm trying to say now, whatever you thought was unexpected ought to be expected. Whatever you thought was impossible ought to be possible. Whatever you thought was undoable ought to be doable. Because now we have been raised with Christ and seated with him in the heavenly places here. So now here's what happens. Most of us had our expectations below ill. You know how some of y'all get the gas tanks out right now, and you knew you were supposed to get some gas on your way to church, and yesterday you thought you wanted to. I think I can make it a little bit longer. When the light comes on, it means you got that much. Don't be talking about God, I'm believing in your favor. Go to the gas station. So that just our expectations they were low. They were really low. And God is saying, now I have given you the best, and now I want you to prepare to receive the best. Have high expectations. So what is it right here? Read it with me. Expectations. And that is partially true. Let's go with this. Let's read what happens. High expectations are the key to everything. Amen? We are declaring and decreeing. We're going to have high expectations, holy expectations, and heavenly and helpful expectations. Now, so if you're not pleased with the bowl you're in, jump on out of the bigger one. Don't be complaining in the bowl you're in. You can see that's what happened. A whole bunch of folks just stand in the bowl. They just going right around, waiting for somebody to feed you. Get about that bowl. If you don't like your bowl, jump to a bigger bowl. And if you have to stay in the bowl, then do this thing. Yeah, you a goldfish? You don't. You become a shark if you want to. But gotta have some higher expectations than we have. Yeah, so here's the point. Read this with me. Expect the best. To achieve more, expect more. Come on now. What? Want to achieve more, do what? Keep going. Set the bar high. and believe you can reach it. Can you just give God a hand clap of praise to make sure we are now expecting the best? We're going to set the bar high. We got some interim benchmarks coming up next week throughout the school system. I declare and decree right now that every student up in here and in this county will do well because the bar is set high. Now be clear about this. Now students, don't go back saying, well, the preacher said I'm going to do what? That, you got to study as well. Let me talk about, well, at this point, I just received, but I'm not going to study. No, you got to go back and do your part. Study, and then let's see the results of the high expectation. Great expectation does what? Brings forth what? Brings forth what? Some manifestation. A little manifestation. So what happened? Here's what I got you to see. Your manifestation is proportional to your expectation. Your manifestation is proportional to your expectation. If I expect low, I'm going to have low manifestation. If I expect high, I'm now positioned for high expectation. So manifestation is proportional to expectation. You can't have low expectation and then expect to have great manifestation. Amen? You cannot have low expectation and then see the result of great manifestation. The manifestation is proportional to my expectation. When I have great expectation, I'm now positioned for great manifestation. Now watch this right here. So now we've gone from impossible to what? Possible. From undoable to what? Now, here's what happened. I want you to see this right here. Read this with me, please. You can't have high expectations for someone who doesn't even set high expectations for themselves.
That's the whole thing.
Let me put this another way, because they touched on it. They didn't quite bring it home. So let me just bring it home. No, you can have high expectations for somebody, but until they have it for themselves, you'll never see it. You can have some high expectations for somebody, but until they see and embrace high expectations for themselves, they will never see it. Let me make this video for you. Mother had one of her brothers years ago said, and mother was always pushing everybody she met to do better. Wherever you were, do better. If you were a millionaire, be a billionaire. If you were making minimum wage, make maximum wage. She was always pushing it. And she was on one of the brothers in particular. And one of the brothers talked about this point, said, see, your problem, Ida, is that you think everybody wants to be somebody. Maybe it's somebody, I just want to be nobody. So she was trying to have high expectations. And even though she had high expectations for him, he never rose to them because he didn't have them for himself. So yeah, we continue to declare, and we continue to decree, and we continue to speak high expectations, but at some point we got to pull down strongholds in the name of the Lord so they can start having high expectations for themselves. That although the parents have high expectations, until the children stop trying to be cool and having their pants hanging all down, walking like a little monkey, yo, and they got to start having for themselves. We have high for them, but they got to have it for themselves. So our role is to make sure we continue to have high expectations. And God, I pull down strongholds right now in the name of the Lord that keep our children from having high expectations. Be binding and rebuking right now in the name of the Lord. And they go from low expectations to high expectations. So now we have it. And now we'll see the manifestation of that great expectation as well. Read this with me, please. When you have high expectation of yourself, you can achieve greatness. So how many of you know there's some greatness inside of you right now? I said, how many of you know there's some greatness inside of you right now? So now match the greatness that God has put in you with high expectations. And then you go from great expectation to great manifestation to greatness as well being manifested in our lives. So our confessions for this whole month is that I operate in a spirit of exceptional excellence. Read this with me. Because I have complete trust in God, I have high, holy, and helpful expectations. Amen. So how many determined to make 2020 the best year you ever had? Get the expectations high. Get them high. Get them high. Get them high. Get them high. In order to make sure we're positioned to receive it all. Third spiritual principle, very quickly. How many of us ever feel like that you've been pulled in too many different directions? Some folks this morning you're pulling different. Got to get baby straight. Get yourself straight. Get yourself up. Trying to get a meal. Trying to eat in the car. See other sandwich in the car right now. It fell on the ground. Got to stop at McDonald's. Got to stop. Can't go to Chick-fil-A because they closed. You're doing all these other things. Being pulled all over the place here. And many folk being pulled. That's why you can't go in that car right to church. Give them 10 minutes. So they're pulled. So many of us feel like we are pulled in many directions. You ever felt like that? Yes. Like you over here, somebody pulling here. All you want is some me time. And everybody's pulling you. And is asking too much for me time. Everybody's pulling. Got this pulling. So, and we feel like this. Everybody wants a piece of you. And here's the point. And then if you can't give it to them, then they get mad at you. Okay. 12 people pulling at you. One of them, they mad because you can't give them all they want. So read this with me, please. How to prioritize when everything is a priority. Everybody's pulling this. Everybody wants something. What you got to do? Let me tell you right now. This is the spiritual principle right here. Read this with me. Put God first, and everything else will fall into proper place. If you believe that, please join me right now and giving God a hand clap of praise right now. I'm telling you, you feel like you're just being pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled. Put Him first. And I'm telling you, there will always be times where, let's read this from Luke 12:31, please. Seek the kingdom of God above all else, and He will give you everything you need. You know God deserves one more hand clap of praise for that. Seek Him first. He's going to give you everything you need. And then Proverbs 3:6, you know this well. Read this. Seek God's will in all that you do, and He will direct your path. God will help you prioritize your priorities when He comes first. But here's the point. We always have things that are trying to pull us in different directions. Now, let me just make this clear for what I'm really saying. So years ago, I had an opportunity that forced me to make a decision that I have continued to live by to this day. They're not always, what we're saying, when we're being pulled, it's not always a bad thing pulling you, but it may not be the best. You got me on here? You with what I'm saying? It may not be a bad thing. If you're being pulled, like right here, it may not be something that's bad, but there's the best that exists instead. So let me make this clear for what I'm saying. So years ago, I had a chance to be over at Bennett. The president had Dr. Angelou over to her house. And I had never met him before, and I've been amazed by her writings for years. And the time the dinner started was the exact time that Bible study that week was. The exact time. I'm talking not a minute before, the exact time. So I'm getting an invitation to meet somebody I really admire, but in conflict with Bible study. And first, I'm telling you, my initial response was yes. Then this is for me now. I got convicted to say, no. As much as I want to meet her, I have to be here to go back here and share the word. That night in particular, I'll never forget that night. It was probably one of the smallest Bible studies we had, and the few people who were here were going through so many challenges that we had a chance to pray and get them through some things. So it wasn't a bad decision I'd going to have lunch with somebody, dinner with somebody like, but it wasn't the best. So watch God now. So in the midst of that, listen to me now. Don't use the same time frame. 3.5 months later, I get an opportunity to end up being Dr. Angelou's and Dr. Janetta Cole's escort for dinner. I had 30 minutes of uninterrupted time with Dr. Angelou. You see me? I am cheesing. I was glad to be there. So what am I saying? So even though I would have been at dinner previously with other folk, I had some one-on-one time with these two wonderful women of God. Wonderful time because of putting God first. Come on now. And I'm saying there's always going to be an opportunity to put God second. Always an opportunity to put God 10th. Always an opportunity to put God 100. But when you put Him first,